Good evening. Disappointing second half, disappointing outcome. They played the second half, honestly, how I anticipated they would start the game. They really heated up. Heated us up defensively in the second half. And their offense was really good in the second half. They're always, past 3 seasons, a really good offense, and we disrupted them in the first half, but they made some great adjustments. And for the third time this season, we've relinquished a pretty good lead in the first half, and we just have to keep getting better and more mature. What I mean by that is, in the second half, it's a bit of a challenge for our defense. They're away from our bench. Our coaches can't really communicate and give commands. We got to grow in that area. And but I was proud of our guys' fight. It was a much different effort than the other night against Marquette, and proud of our guys for that. But we'll get back, work on some stuff, and it's the beauty of the Big East. Another great opportunity against Butler in our building this week.
And what did they do offensively in the second half? Did they adjust the drive?
They did what they did in the first half. I say they did it better, Kevin. And our aggression, our denials, our top blocks weren't as good. We wear down, and I think their defense helped them. It helped them. It aided them. It got them into the game. But they also made some really tough shots. Hassan Diarra, Terrace Reed made some really tough finishes. I thought that it was some foul calls that didn't match the tenor of that game, which is disappointing in this league especially. I'll go back and look at it. I still don't know why or what was the foul. And I shouldn't say this before I've seen it on film, but I thought we had a perfectly good trap there at the end, and a foul was called. So I got to see it. I trust those guys. It probably was, but it didn't look like it from my vantage point.
Ken, when you guys got out to the big lead, did you see opportunity to maybe extend that lead even more?
Yeah, it always is. We shoot 56%, in the first half. I'll take it. Yeah, we had a turnover. I think Benzie had one at half court. I thought offensively we were pretty good in the first half. I called it my second time out with about 4:28 to go just to regroup. And I felt like the guys did that. I knew that would take away my ability to call one quick in the second half if they got going. But I thought, I'll know better when I see it, but I think our offense in the second half was a much bigger concern.
Do you think when West picked up that second foul in the first half, that kind of maybe prevent you guys from maybe getting a little extended a little? Maybe.
You'll never know. I thought Ryan came in and gave great production, offensively scoring, and even without West, we did get a lead up to 12, in the first half.
What was the difference with West tonight? Any adjustments off the last game? It was much more.
Well, Marquette's different. Marquette and Connecticut are not the same. Marquette we're working on it and fixing it just to simply do what we prepare for in games. Marquette, we just simply did not do anything that we prepared for. UConn is more similar to us defensively and getting the shooters, disallowing assists. Marquette is more really committed to being in the gaps and forcing turnovers. So it was simply more space for him to attack and drive.
The other night you said you guys were going to look for who you are, your identity going forward. What did you find maybe the last couple of days, and maybe what did you learn in 40 minutes out here?
Yeah, I thought we had 2 pretty good days of practice. 2 days ago was better than yesterday. I felt like we were more together, more connected. We played that way, and that's a step in the right direction.
What makes Terrace Reed difficult to handle, and what made the difference for him in the second half when we didn't see as much of him in the first half?
Yeah, he was great tonight. They changed things defensively with him in more of a flat. He has great hands. He knows who he is. Deep seals. He catches it. He's strong. He finishes. He was like that last year at Michigan, and he's done a great job. assimilating to their culture and their play style. He's a really good player, made some really tough shots. We had one, Wesley Cardette guarded him and blocked his shot, and he regathered a rebound and made a really, really tough contested shot. His floater, he seals, he posts really big, he does a great job.
Kim, were any of the injured players who didn't play on Tuesday close today?
Bryce, is still feeling discomfort. He did more in practice. Crease is still, not doesn't believe he feels good enough to go, and Eli DeLaurier is making, good strides in the right direction.
When the situation is where it's 10 minutes to go, there at the moment, is how difficult is that to try to play like a perfect defense almost?
You don't lose aggression. You just need to up your discipline, and some of the fouls were warranted, reach-ins, you just need to show your hands and your chest. And these are really good officials, and they won't reward bad. They won't penalize good defense, even if it is physical. But I thought that there were some fouls that didn't match the tenor. You don't see many and ones in the Big East, and some of the and ones in the second half were really soft fouls, and then a couple of the fouls 80 feet away from the basket.
The first half, terrific ball security, even playing 1 point guard most of the time. You mentioned the other night you might go to 1 point guard. How does that change maybe your spacing, your synergy on the court?
Our offense is our offense. We always have most of the time 4 shooter lineups with great space. I thought the guys, but simply Connecticut's defense in the second half offered more pressure than it did in the first half.
What do you think of Oswin overall?
I thought he did a good job. Some different things. And he's replacing a guy in Josh Oduro that was just, everything, to our program the last 3 years. And he knew exactly what we wanted to do. In this building last year, if he wasn't in foul trouble, defensively, offensively, he could have. He had everything he wanted. So, it's learning on the fly. Oswin's a great kid. He's incredibly humble. He's very, very coachable, and he's gonna. He was +3 against Marquette. He was -1 today. He's gonna keep taking strides in the right direction.
Did Maney do a little more than maybe you would have expected coming into the game?
No. He what did he do? He made his free throws. He made 2 threes, which you'd expect. Made a big-time left-hand layup in the first half that was growth for him, and got a big charge in the second half. He's a good player. He was a really good player at St. Mary's last season.
Any more questions?
Thank you.